Hey everyone, welcome back. Okay, I'm going to talk about the chronic hepatitis. What are the liver function tests or the enzymes of the liver that are elevated on the chronic hepatitis? So here's a scenario. The following laboratory test results were found in a patient with mild weight loss that indicates chronic thing because it is mild, not all heavy, nausea, vomiting, who later developed jaundice and enlarged liver. Okay, so this is the liver function test results. The serum alkaline phosphatase, which is an enzyme that is just super specific for the obstruction of the gallbladder. Okay, so it's going to be mild increase intrahepatic cholestasis. So basically, it is 130, and the normal range is 25 to 100. There is a mild increase only, and that indicates not a big increase. So the problem not in the gallbladder obstruction or something. Okay, this is ALP or alkaline phosphatase. What about the total cholesterol? Well, there's it is 260 and the normal is 150 to 199. So there's hypercholesteremia. So there's an obstruction everywhere, whether it is in the liver or in the not a gallbladder, but maybe the liver. Alkaline aminotransferase or ALT. So A for oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just alanine aminotrans. Okay, not at this. Alanine aminotransferase. Okay, gotcha. Here's a alkaline takes Al aminotransferase ALT. So alanine aminotransferase Al anti for transferase. So this is ALT alanine transferase is going to be um elevated here, but it's sort of mild because the normal is 10 to 40. Basically, this is super specific for the liver, right? So, how did I remember this? L for the liver. Aspartate aminotransferase or AST. Okay, so aspartate, AS, and transferase here. Okay, AST. These are the enzymes of the liver, and they are super specific for the liver. But this is more specific, okay? The ALT. We found out that we have a mild increase, but it is less than fivefold, which indicates chronic hepatitis. Once it is more than fivefold, indicates acute hepatitis. But just notice here, 135 and 256, which is sort of a mild increase. That indicates a chronic hepatitis, and the problem is the liver. So, less than fivefold mild increase on the enzymes of the liver indicates chronic hepatitis. Here's the bilirubin, total and direct. We found out that we have biphasic increase in both direct and indirect, which indicates hepatic jaundice. So once we found there's biphasic increase in both enzymes, it's a problem of liver, right? Direct and indirect. Once it is direct, the problem post or after or post hepatic. Once it is direct, the problem is in the prehepatic, and here once it is biphasic, it indicates that the problem is in the liver. So in this case, it's going to be hepatic jaundice, which is a result from the chronic hepatitis. So notice here the direct is 10, the indirect going to be 10 because we've minus that from the 20, and this is the indirect. So there's a problem in the liver, which is sort of like chronic hepatitis. Albumin is sort of like it's normal, cause in the middle. I'm sorry, it is not a normal at all. It is decreased, right? So we have hypoalbuminemia, just chronic liver disease with decompensation. So once the albumin has been decreased so much, that indicates that the problem is chronic. The albumin doesn't decrease until it is chronic thing. What about the gamma globulin? There's a chronic infection because there's an increase in the gamma globulin. The normal is 0.7 to 1.7 gram per deciliter, so it's 2.3, which is like there's an increase and indicates chronic infection. So to recap the liver function tests, there is going to be the mild increase on the ALP, and like it is not all like something that we have to take in concern, because like it is not that high increase, but at the same time it indicates intrahepatic problem or cholestasis. Total cholesterol, hypercholesteremia, and ALT and AST have been increased, but not that much. So that gives us an indication that it is a chronic thing. Okay, we have biphasic bilirubin. So once you see a biphasic bilirubin, that indicates that it's a case of the problem in the liver. So this is like hepatic jaundice, or the hepatic jaundice that is resulted from the chronic hepatitis. Okay, what is the diagnosis of this case according to given LFTs? Chronic hepatitis because of the mild increase on the liver enzymes, ST and LT, as well as the direct and indirect bilirubin. There is as well biphasic increase on, but not that much. What is the most likely cause of jaundice in this patient? We've already said that. What are the needed investigations to confirm the diagnosis? Well, we need viral markers, hepatitis S antigen, because they will give us an indication that's like there's an infection, active infection, whether it is an acute or chronic. We need as well hepatitis S antibodies or surface antibodies and antigen as well. Just like we want to know whether it is IgG or IgM. It has to be IgG. Hepatitis E antibodies. Sort of like we need those antibodies because we wanted to know that there's like the infectivity or the force or just the infectivity of the virus. So that's what we have measured this. So hepatitis E antibody, and you could also take the hepatitis E antigen just with the antibody, hepatitis C antibody, antibody core. We couldn't measure the antigen, so antibody to know whether IgG or IgM. Just we're gonna take viral markers to diagnose the virus, and this is just some of investigations. This is some of the clinical presentation: jaundice, fever, fatigue, loss of appetite, dark-colored urine, pale-colored stool, and nausea and vomiting. What are the normal values of ST or LT? Both of these enzymes are under the 40, so this is the normal values of. Basically, to just take away from this, the important thing to know about the chronic hepatitis is going to be an increase in both direct and indirect bilirubin, as well as the liver enzymes, but they are not going to exceed 5-fold. So this is something that has to be remembered. Okay, that's all. Thank you for watching this.